Lockett says hi from Austin, Texas.
Me?
Neomi. T-N-E-O-M-I. Lockett.
Me or me? Okay. Yeah, how are you? Thank you very much. I'm saying hello to you too.
No questions for me one here, but Mami, I'm powerful says hi. She's watching from Spain.
Hello, Mommy. I'm powerful. Hello, how are you doing? I wish I could speak Spanish. I would have greeted you in Spanish.
Country boy says hello, Papa.
Ambe.
Ambe.
Ambe, how are you? Yeah, you know, I told you what to do, because if your things are going on, you need to do a reading. What's happening? You took that like a it's simple as that. Don't make things difficult for you when it should not be difficult. Yes. Any questions from anybody there? We're just saying hello. So we today I will start our live session with what has been happening during the week with us. The truth about life is that when you begin to make changes in life and you are, it seems to be moving up, and a lot of people begin to know you, and you are progressing. At the same time, a lot of negative things also come your way, try to compete with the positive things that are happening in your life. You have to take it easy and then guide yourself so that you don't fall into the negativity too much, but then you maintain a balance between the negativity and positivity. There's been this gentleman called Musa. He had jumped on my photograph. He's actually a make instant money. He could do that, and I posted it. I've been trying as much as possible to tell Facebook to block him, or for identity theft, but so far Facebook was not able to block him. Yesterday night I saw that he tagged me with my photographs with his telephone numbers on it. But then when I accepted the tagging, because I thought if I do that, I will be able to get onto his page, because I cannot access his page. Whichever way, he has blocked me and my friends, so no one on my list can easily access his page. Some did, but then I think he has blocked them all too. So if you are listening to me here, that Musa is not me, and it has nothing to do with African Magic Temple or Revolution. And if you can report to Facebook that he is impersonating Christopher Voncujovi, and he has stolen my identity, I have reported to the police cybercrime unit of my country, and they are working on it. And I've also summoned the ancestors and told them about it. Then they have the power to do and undo. So I am waiting for them to see, waiting for the police, and waiting for all of you to try as much as possible so we can cut off that scammer from our midst. Thank you very much. And if anybody has any way I could get to him, please tell him that I actually spoke with him, and he was so proud and telling me if I tried anything, I will die. You are stealing my identity, and you are telling me if I try anything, I will die. And if Musa is watching me here, or whoever knows him is watching me, tell him I'm coming for him. If there's any question, let me know.
The YouTube live stream is up.
Whatever there's questions, just leave. If it's YouTube, tell me it's from YouTube. If it is from Facebook, let me know it's from
Country
Facebook.
boy, sorry.
Go ahead.
Country boy. Ambe says, I have seen him online trying to impersonate you. He's telling you, country Ambe.
Yes, I know that he is impersonating me, but people find a way to get to him and block him. Ambe, try to get him and report him to Facebook that this person is impersonating, because he has blocked me. I cannot get into his page or cannot even see whatever. Even the tagging that he tagged me, I cannot see it. Even though I accepted it in order that I could see it, but I couldn't see it. It did not appear. The name, it shows that he has tagged me. It's showing in my list of activities, but I cannot see it.
One from US says he has a question.
Call the name well.
Van Perry.
Van Perry, yes. Yeah, Van, how are you?
Okay. Why is it said that witches try to feed people with pork or human flesh in dreams? Please elaborate.
People try to feed.
Witches.
Witches try to feed
people with human flesh.
Oh, no, I don't know. It's everybody has a dream, but nobody told me that the witches are feeding them with human flesh in their dream. I have not heard it before. If they have done that to you, then it's something that we have to look for. But I have never heard that witches were feeding people with human flesh in their dreams. I've never heard from anyone, and I have never even dreamt like that in my life, that the witches were feeding people with human flesh. No, I don't have any idea.
Ado Mahama says those malams are 100% fake and they are not like you who is authentic traditionally. Then Julius.
Thank you very much, Adams. I'm very grateful.
Julius Zewu says good afternoon.
Julius, how are you today? I believe today you prepared proper questions for me to answer. Make the questions snappy and also make it very clear so that when I am answering, other people can also benefit from your question. The answers that I will give, other people can also benefit from your question. Thank you very much for joining us, Julius.
Kwabena Tuesday, Bafford wants to know where you are located.
Kwabena, we are located in the city of Accra in Ghana, precisely on the Spinters Road, where Bachonya, very close to the Barclays Bank. If you Google our location, you will easily find us. We are on the Spinters Road. You just keep it like that. Don't put it in a flight mode. So once anybody can cut it off, because it's been affecting us too. Yes, go ahead. Make a cry.
No, the flight mode. Okay, no. Wi-Fi.
Data now. Yeah. Okay. Which question again?
Okay, you've answered the question from Kwabena Bafford.
Yes, we are on the Spinters Road in Accra.
Yes.
And if you want to make enquiries, we have a telephone number of 0262 36 75 78. African Magic Temple telephone number.
Patricia Amo Efia Asarewa, Papa, she wants to know what the meaning of life is and what it entails as a woman.
Okay. Efia, the meaning of life to everybody is different. Why I say so that the meaning of life to everybody is different. Somebody, the meaning of life is to acquire material wealth, material wealth. For someone also, the meaning of life is just to get plenty certificates, go to school and get a doctorate and get one which is above doctorate degree. Again, I don't know which one, but I believe there should be somewhere something that is even above the doctorate degree, a professor. And to some people, the meaning of life is just as simple and wait on God to give them whatever will come their way. And some people, the meaning of life is to cheat others. So we all have different meaning of life. And to some of us, the meaning of life is to fulfill what our mission in this world is, which in my case is to teach and lead people to the right path as far as my ancestors' path is concerned, which is the path of tradition. And I being an Ewe person, Voodoo is also our spirituality. So for me, the meaning of life to me as a person is to fulfill the work of my ancestors.
There's a question from Nick Murray. Nick Murray from US wants to know whether
Nick
you.
Moray.
Murray.
I want to know the name so I can pronounce it properly.
Okay. Okay.
And don't leave any question in and jump to another question. Let's answer every question, because I realize that some questions we jump it and then that one is lingering in. Later when I go online, I find that those questions didn't come to me, but the people have asked those questions, and the people even complain that we did not answer their question. So let's pick each question that as it comes.
There's a statement here from Ifadara, but it's not a question. She says, witches are good and do good.
They are good and do good. Yeah, it depends on everybody. If you have an encounter with witch and it is good for you, yes, of course you will say they are good. And those who have encounter with witches and have bad experience, they will say witches are bad. So everybody has their own outlook towards whatever happens to us in life. In life, there is nothing like a straight A or a straight B. There is nothing in life like straight A or straight B. Straight B. So sometimes things go this way, things go the other way. So for some, witches will be good, and for some, witches are bad. But then in my culture, generally, witches are bad. We don't say witches are good in my culture. Every culture, we never say witches are good, because they have done more bad things to people than good things. But then it is not my place to judge them. The Creator knows how to judge them. Yes.
Okay. We have a question from YouTube. Prince Henry from Malaysia.
Yeah.
Prince Henry from Malaysia. This is his question. Hello, sir. How does voodoo help when it comes to finance? As a Nigerian and as an Igbo man, is it important for me? That's Prince from Malaysia.
Yeah, Prince, how are you? I think we've been communicating for a while now. Voodoo, as it is generally, voodoo, as I kept saying, it just means simply spirit. And I believe the Igbo people of Nigeria have spirits, and they also have voodoo. Voodoo is not limited to the Ewe people or to the Haitians, but voodoo is a general word in Ewe, which means spirit. And I believe in the Igbo language, there is a word for spirit. And once you get that word, probably you will have the deeper meaning in your own language when you reflect on the word that your people use to represent spirit. It will give you a clearer meaning. In our Ewe language, voodoo means to give freedom, to give liberty to the community. That which liberates the community from challenges and suffering. That is called voodoo, and it is spirit. So in the Igbo language, there must be a word for that. So yes, voodoo helps you in every aspect of your life. But then if you are thinking that voodoo will help you when you are not doing anything and money will just fall from the sky, and money, you will do something and put some box, and when you open it, the box will be full with money without working for it, it does not exist in voodoo. And I don't know which spirituality has that. But all that I know is that it doesn't exist. Quick money, instant money does not exist. Voodoo can help you to be financially okay when you are doing something. Even if you are selling water, you are selling cola, you are a farmer, you are having a store, you are working in an office, or you set up your business, or you decide to do traditional things. What you can do, or how voodoo can help you, is you ask the spirits that, how can I do to let my business or my career or whatever I am engaged in life flourish? Teach me the way. And then the voodoo will give you advice that, okay, do this, do that, do that. And when you follow those things, then you will be attractive to customers. Clients will visit you, and then you will make money. But then with the thought that voodoo will help you and money will start falling without working, or just close your eye and open your eyes and like magic and your house is full with money, you become rich. It doesn't exist. But whatever you are doing, voodoo can guide you and teach you how to do it better so that you can benefit from your own sweat. That's what I know about voodoo.
He also has a second question. He wants to know whether voodoo he wants to know whether there's a particular voodoo for long life.
Voodoo for long life. Yes, there could be voodoo for long life because when you are practicing voodoo, there are so many different voodoo. And when you are initiated into the voodoo, they will tell you the things that voodoo can do for you. But what I have in my shrine, I don't have a particular voodoo for long life. But there are certain places they may have, but I don't have a voodoo for long life. The voodoos I have are for protection, defending, and to bring me a peaceful life. And my voodoos also have rules and regulations by telling me don't do this, because if you do this, you will not live long. Don't do that. If you do that, things will not be well for you. So do this, do that, do this, do this, do this, and then you will live long. So it is up to me. If I want to live long, then I will follow the rules and regulations of my voodoos. If they tell me not to eat something, then I will not eat it. If they tell me not to do certain actions that maybe I am doing, but then I did not know, when they guide me not to do it, to avoid it, so that I can live long, yes. But then to say that you have a voodoo and that make you live long and you run in front of a car will kill you and you will die. Whether the voodoo tells you that you live long, but if you run in front of the car will kill you and you will die. So I don't think there is any voodoo that will give you long life. Voodoo can give you guidance how to live so that you can live long.
He has one final question. Should I ask?
Yeah, Henry, go ahead. The last question there.
He says, my third question is, what is witchcraft and how do you define it? I grew up in a Christian home and you know what Christians think about it. What is witchcraft to you?
In our understanding, or in my understanding, what witchcraft is enviness, jealousy, negativity, and anything that will make your life a difficult life. That's what witchcraft is in my understanding. But some people who are witches may use that same witchcraft to help themselves, but maybe not help other people. So witchcraft is simply the concept of the mind whereby it becomes negative towards the other person or a group of people or an individual, where you, the person who is the victim, only receive negativity from the person who is the perpetrator. So, witches, as people usually think, that they are, as if there are some people who they wrote on their head that, on their forehead, that they are witches, or they are flying in the air or flying. No, witches can be anybody. The witch can be anybody around you. Person who is envious of you and wish you negativity, wants things to happen to you. Could even be your own wife, could be your brother, could be your mother, could be your father, could be anybody. So long as the person is wishing negative things for you and wants you to fail in life and does not want to see you succeed, the person doesn't want you to succeed, that person is a witch against you.
Ado Mahama is commenting
Ado.
about, yes, Ado Mahama.
Ado Mahama, yes, Ado, yes.
He's commenting about the fake, as in a fraudster who is trying to impersonate you. He says he even sent me a friend request and that he is fake. He's really
So if Ado Mahama, if he has sent you a friend's request, report him to Facebook that this person is impersonating somebody. That's because I cannot get into his page. So if he is able to send you people friends request, because I don't think he has sent me a friend's request. He's not my friend on my Facebook account.
I sent him the last.
You also could see him.
Yeah.
So send.
I've sent it by.
No, I mean you don't need to send a friendship request to him. Report his page as a fraud, a theft, identity theft to Facebook, so that we see whether Facebook will work on it. Yeah, that identity theft is what I am worried about. If he's on Facebook and doing whatever he's doing, it's up to him. But he should not use my photographs.
Van Perry from the USS, I am very well. Thank you. How are you too?
Yeah, Van, I'm okay. I'm managing. Small. We say in Ghana. Small. I'm getting time on it. Please, everybody should share these things, that this live session. Share it on your platforms and let your pages, and let other people connect. Share it on your YouTube pages and YouTube channels, so that people can connect with us. We are lucky today. We are able to be on YouTube live for the first time. We tried 2 times. We couldn't, but this third time we are able to be successful to be on YouTube live. So please share it wherever you are seeing us from, and inform people that Revolution is live again on Africa Magic Temple is live on Revolution platform, and we are discussing about voodoo and how we can live our lives.
We have a question from Lynn Elwin McMurray.
Murray.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Do you go to your ancestors first or everything before the spirits?
Mark Murray, yes, ancestors come first, because my ancestors are I am their continuity. I came into this world through my ancestors. The DNA in my ancestors is what is running in me as a person. I came here before I met the Vodus that I am working with. So when I want to pray, I pray to my ancestors. I pray to the Vodus. It depends on what my feelings are. Sometimes I pray first to the Vodus, and then I pray to my ancestors. Sometimes I pray to the ancestors first, and then I pray to the Vodus. When I wake up at dawn and before daybreak, I pray to the ancestors, and I pray to the Vodus as well to give me a good day. So it does not matter what it doesn't matter what you pray to first. All that matters is how you pray and how sincere you are about the prayer.
Dan Slimore. Dan Slimore. This is Achu from USA. I believe in our ancestors doing. Can you use water to represent? Can you use water in place of alcohol to pray when calling your ancestors?
Yes, Achu. The truth is that when we say jachi, a jachi is chionyo, a chi. So we say jachi. So you can always use water instead of alcohol if you feel to do so. There's nothing wrong with it. The ancestors are okay. But where there are places where it is necessary to pour alcohol, when you get there too, they will themselves will inform you. Because when you are calling for a very difficult situation and you want to overcome it, that's why when you give alcohol to ginger them and empower them, to wake them up, to activate them, and then you ask them to do accordingly. But otherwise, you can just use water to pray. Hope I have made myself clear to your question.
Okay. Ado Mahama asks regarding, he wants to find out whether reincarnation is reality or false imagination.
I cannot tell whether it is reality or false imagination. Every culture has their own way of how people come back into this world. In Ewe culture, we have a name called Ametepe, and some people even go to the extent of saying Togwi Bomamambo, which means the person has come back. In the Yoruba, we have what they call Tunde, like Yatunde, Babatunde, or Etunde, whatever it is, or the Tundes means something that has come back. In the Akan tradition of the Ashantis, or the Akan people of Ghana, we have, Akan people of Ghana and the Cote d'Ivoire, we have what we call Abebio. So that alone tells you that there is reincarnation. If that it was not there, or if there isn't any reincarnation, I don't think the word reincarnation would even be in these cultures. And you know, in Hinduism, it's very clear that reincarnation is part of religion. So the culture from which you come, if there is reincarnation, then you better ask your ancestors or people who are older than you to explain it. But then in my Ebe culture, it is real. It is not an imagination, because there are times that people die, and when they come back, you can notice, you can find. And then some people can also, when they become spiritually aware, they will realize that they have been in this world before. But there are certain places you will go, and that will be your first time of going there, but you have this sense of feeling that you had been there before. And there are certain people you will meet in your life, it will be the first time, but something will tell you that you have met this person before. But where exactly you had met the person, or how exactly you have been to a place where you have never been before, that you cannot tell. But you have it, the feeling within you that this thing, I know it. But how to explain, you cannot explain.
Achu from US wants to know how WGP works. He wants to know whether it is good to let one's auntie do saraka to the stool on the behalf while you are not in the country.
Yeah, Achu, the problem is, if you trust your auntie and you believe in your auntie that she does not wish you any negative thing, then of course you can ask your auntie to go to the Tobeji or Tobezikpi, or in my central area we say Pupo, Tobe Pupo, to pray on your behalf, because your auntie is not the Tobezi and nobody else is the Tobezi. But one thing that the Tobezi is and represent is all the ancestors that died on that bloodline. The Tobezikpi or Tobezi is what represents them all. So when people want to pray to the ancestors, once they pray to the Tobezikpi, they are connecting to all the ancestors on that bloodline from that Tobi, because Tobi means an ancestor or a grandfather. So when the Tobezikpi as the family stool, which is the representation of all the people who have died on that ancestral line or on that bloodline, it represents that. So when people pray to it, they are connected to all the ancestors. This is why people are making mistake thinking that white people should not come and then learn our ancestors, because everybody has an ancestor. My ancestors cannot be the ancestors of any white man, because none of my ancestors were white people. So even if white people come to pray at my Tobezikpi shrine, they will be praying to their ancestors, but not to my ancestors. They may only be asking my ancestors to take their message and give to their ancestors. So there is nothing like people coming and people say, oh, they are not happy when they see white people in doing African traditional thing. They don't like, because it is our ancestors thing. No, people just say things for saying sake. Even these people who say this thing, they themselves are not even interested in these ancestral practices. They are only interested in it when it comes to argument. But Tobezikpi is the people whose DNA is running in you. That is what the Tobezikpi is all about. So praying to them is you are praying to yourself indirectly. And you were asking whether your auntie can do it on your behalf. If your auntie is someone you can trust, why not? Because the auntie will only go and give your message to the person in charge of the Tobezikpi, and then the Tobezikpi in charge will pray for your ancestors on your behalf.
There's another question from Roy King.
Has Roy King asked every question today already?
No.
Yeah, okay, next question.
So, do you believe in karma?
Yes, I do.
I do believe in our forefathers believed in karma. The principle of karma indicates that we reap what we sow. Therefore, any negativity in one's life is as a result of his karma. Therefore, in trying to change what is meant to be as a result of one's karma. Sorry, let me take it again. Therefore, in trying to change what is meant to be as a result of one's karma, to be against the principles of karma, which will lead to another negative karma. This explains why we need not use any such spiritual powers to influence situations.
Tell him to hold on. That's not the situation. That's how you think about it. It's not like that. Spirituality is a journey that is used in correcting what is wrong. What you are saying is not right. That's the way you look at it. But that's not how it is. People do spiritual things because they want to change situations. What you are saying is just as simple as saying that we shouldn't do anything, we should just sit down and then be there because our karma will be working on us. It is not like that. When you are in a situation that you are not comfortable with it, you have to think of how to change it. Whether physically or spiritually, that's how it's supposed to be, and that's what it is. You cannot say because karma is somebody's listening, so if karma is worrying someone, you shouldn't. If it is not going to change, no matter whatever you do, it will not change. But you are given the chance to make effort to change what is not comfortable for you.
Seram Guma he wrote something. What Christopher Voncujovi is trying to say is that quick money does not exist, but rather voodoo helps you to have attraction so that the work you do will bring you money.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And then Ingela Okain also commented on Seram's statement saying, thanks for making that clear. Everyone thinks voodoo is synonymous for easy money.
It is not. Yes, Sena is like that. Yes.
If, let's say, your grandfather had a voodoo which he used, and then you don't have access to it anyway, but then you pray to your ancestors. So
yes, go ahead.
So is there any way that since you don't know it, but you want to also connect to that spirit or that voodoo, is there any way you can do that? Is it possible?
Come clear with the question. I'm not very clear what you are saying.
My grandfather, he had a voodoo, but I wasn't initiated into it. I didn't meet him anyway.
Yes.
Now, is there a way that I can then reconnect with that voodoo or that spirit?
Okay, the question is very clear in the sense that a voodoo that you are not initiated into, how can you connect with it? One, what you don't know, you don't delve into. There's a lot of people make mistake of jumping into things that they don't know anything about just because others are doing it or people are talking about it and then they jump. Voodoo is not a child's play. This is something that everybody should take serious. Voodoo is not a child's play, and it is not a theory. It's not just what is on the book or Facebook or nose book or whatever book. It's not a child's play. Even though we are teaching about voodoo and making voodoo to look simple, a voodoo is not a child's play because voodoo is spirit. You are not seeing it, but it can see you because it is an entity which is existing but is not physical. It's an invisible entity. Being like I used to say that nature is visible and invisible. Visible nature and invisible nature is what makes what we call God. Okay, so if you are going to delve into something or going to practice something that you don't know anything about, it is advisable that you don't. Because like your case, you are asking about your grandfather. You have not met him. And you don't know what incantations of the voodoo he had. And who, if you cannot meet your grandfather, then who was there that had initiated your grandfather will be there alive for you to go and meet. Whereby that person would have initiated you or initiate you by telling you that oh, this is what I have given to your grandfather, or this is the way your grandfather did it. So let me do it for you so that you too, you have that knowledge and wisdom to practice. No. The only thing that may happen is that from time to time, if you are doing a reading, maybe that your grandfather's spirit, if it is bound to be with you or is bound for you to work with that particular spirit, then the spirit may come in your reading, and the spirit will tell people that, oh, it is there. They should tell you that it is still there, so you should pray to it. Yes. Then if the spirit itself has given you permission to be praying to it, then it will be helping and working with you. Maybe until a time will come when it will reveal itself to you and teach you some incantations, or lead you to a place where someone will find out the incantations, and then you can begin to use those incantations. That means the voodoo is working with you. But if without knowing anything about the voodoo, and just because it will belong to your grandfather and you want to go, how can you be initiated into it because you don't know it? That's the question. Is it?
Yeah, but it was on a video you posted.
Yes.
And I saw I think you were called to do some. So I wanted to know, can I also do the same? Like you then be able to, if as you are a priest, can you then do that link?
Anytime someone is talking, move the camera on the person so that other people in the world can also see who is talking. It's not only us in this room that is doing this thing. People from around the world are watching. Yes, so turn this one too. Turn this camera too.
Okay, so
I have to become a director
morning,
as well. Yes.
Yes, this morning you posted a video, I think, of a family who had then called you.
Yes, okay, let me straight away go into, I know what you are talking about. Turn the camera on me, and then if you are going to be doing camera, forget about your phones in your hand. Do one thing at a time. Yeah. What happened in the video you saw, it was about 3 years ago. 3 years ago that there was one priest, a very powerful priest, who was also a chief. And he was also a voodoo priest. So he died. And since he died, nobody in the family had fed his voodoos. Say, you go and get food and start to get food. So nobody had fed his voodoos for 23 years. And then the children, the last born was 11 years old when the man died. So when I say 23 years, then he was about 34. At 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, it was about 34 years. Okay? So wherever they had tried everything they were doing, things were not going on well for them. They would try this thing, they would get job, they would get opportunities, get wife, and all this thing, and nothing was actually happening. They were only facing difficulties and challenges each time they are doing things. So they came and consulted me. And then during the consultation, and I told them that, oh, there are so many things in your house, which is it was a spiritual home, but they have been abandoned, and the things are hungry. So what do you people know about it? Then they told me, oh, our father was a chief, and also he was a traditional healer, and he has his own small shrine. But since he died, the doors have been locked for 23 years now, and none of this, nobody knows what to do. So they just lock the doors. So when I consulted the mirror, that okay, this thing that you said and they are confirming it, is that real? Then the mirror said, Abochi said yes. So they asked me, is there a way I can help them to feed these spirits on their behalf? So I asked Abochi, is it possible for us to go and feed our elders' spirits. Then Aboki said yes. So we asked the spirits, what do they want? What do they want the children to buy and feed them? So the spirit told us what they wanted. So they got the items, we set up a day, they bought me fuel, and then I went to meet them. They went ahead of me, waiting for me in the village. So I went ahead and met them in the village. And then I opened the door, or they opened the door, they opened it, but then there's a stool. And then there are certain things that nobody really know what to do. So I went and then brought them outside, gave them jachi, gave them alcohol. And the children even don't know the names of the voodoos and all these things. So and some of them they can remember. Those who were elder children could remember that their father used to call this one, this and that. And then I prayed to them and fed them. And then I also and there they told the voodoos told me that the junior son should be in charge of them. So I started teaching the junior son how to pray to the voodoos. So that's what you saw in that video. And I also, because they have not been fed for a long time, and also some of the herbs that had made or formed these voodoos had not gotten power anymore. So what I did is that I prepared that awudi talisman so that I can keep it in the room to energize the voodoo so that it can be active. So when the children pray to them, they can, and when they get money in the future, we can go and change. We'll ask the mirror and other things and change the herbs and to activate. But then it also depends on them if they are really ready to continue doing what their father did. But I did everything because when I got there, the spirit directed me. Even there is a place that there was something, but this place is now had been cemented. But when I got there, they showed me the point. The spirit showed me the point immediately, and then I prayed there and I did what I could do there. And the chicken took a very long time to die because the spirits were tired. It's just like something that is tired before it really takes. It's no more strong. It's weak, like a hungry man who has been hungry for long. Even if you give him cocoa to drink, it will take long before it can take one spoon at a time. Before, after some time, it will go slowly, and the body will start to receive the energy. So that's what I did for them. So in your case, if your ancestors' shrine is there and no one has been attending to it, and you wish to feed them, but first you have to do a consultation and make sure whether they wanted you to feed them. And if they had come in your reading many times that you should feed them, then you have all these things. Then you have to take up a qualified person who can hear spirits. It's not just anybody who is a drama. People are full of drama. They do things like the people we see on some of our pages. People are full of drama. There are some people who are very good in acting. Yeah, they make everything to look as if everything is fearful. But there are people also, God has given them the sixth sense, that they can hear, they can see. So such people, whenever they go, whatever is there, whether they are dead people or spirits, those spirits and those dead people or ancestors will communicate into the minds of these priests or the sixth sense candidates, and they could be able to find out what the exact information is there, and then they will deal with it, and then you begin to see the changes. And when we did that for them, a lot of things have changed in their life since then. But it's a practical thing. It's not a theoretical thing. It's a practical thing, and it's not drama. Yes, people play drama in it, but voodoo is not drama. Yeah, it's not drama. It's reality. People just try to create things and mix up a whole lot of things. Because a lot of people are mixing up Chinese traditional spirituality with our African traditional spirituality. Yeah, that's why people are having heaven money. There is nothing like a heaven money in voodoo. But people are now trying to put heaven money. They printed some paper monies, and they say these are heaven money. So if you want your ancestors to send you money, then you go and bend this one for them. And it's not a voodoo concept. It is never a voodoo concept. But it's people who are, especially people in the diaspora, who are confused, don't know which one is which one. They're just mixing anything, and they call it voodoo. People are just mixing up all kind of things. Hinduism is Hinduism. It's not voodoo. Or it is not Ebe voodoo. Yeah, I won't say it's not voodoo, but it's not Ebe voodoo. And traditional Native Americans practice is also a voodoo of the native medicine, but it is not Ebe voodoo. So when people begin to mix all kind of things together without really demarcating and knowing which one is which one, that is when we have all these confusions and all kind of things. Is it coming? Everything okay?
Yes. There's a question from YouTube. Hanuram.
Hanuram
from US.
from USA, yes.
When someone is born with an obligation to become a priest, is it true that spirits will worry them at a certain point in life to become an initiate?
How do you know that you are born to be a priest? That's the first question I'll ask in answering that question. Who told you that you are born to be a priest? And how do you know that you are born to be a priest? You can't just wake up and imagine that you are born to be a priest, like what many people are doing and deceiving themselves and deceiving other people. You will have to be told by somebody, either by a psychic, a priest, or through a reading, that they will tell you that you are a priest born. Then you can now go upon it. But just by imagining that you are having difficulties in life means you are born to be a priest. No. You must first find out whether you are who you are. And if you are able to find out who you are, that is what is going to tell you whether you are born to be a priest or you are not born to be a priest.
Roy King on Facebook passed a comment. He says seeking spiritual powers to manipulate things in one's favor is cheating, and nature will not forgive such people.
Roy, leave it to whoever is doing it. It is not your place to tell whether nature will forgive the person. You are not nature, and you are not the one who passed judgment. So you leave that to whoever is doing it. That's not your problem, because you are not the one going to tell who to be punished or who is not to be punished. Let nature punish who it thinks it needs to be punished. It's not your place.
Brian Abin says, good afternoon. Greetings from Savannah region. He says, I dream about using neem tree sticks to cross a river. Does neem tree stick have spiritual values?
Yes, neem trees have a spiritual value in every voodoo. They call them kodebuti. Means that when you are doing something against your spiritual nature, and things that if you are doing something wrong about against your own spiritual nature, those are the herbs that they will use in cleansing you. So by using a neem tree to cross a river, I don't understand what the dream is. But neem trees have spiritual values, especially when they need to cleanse you from your own bad behaviors that the spirits are not happy with. Yeah, so I'm saying hello to Brian Secho. How are you? Long time.
There's a question on Facebook from Street Boy. Can voodoo help in obtaining visa?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether voodoo is a passport officer or is an immigration officer or not. But voodoo can help you in gaining favor. But I cannot tell you that it's going to get you to get the visa. So people who put visa application on people who put visa and quick money on their signboards, go and ask them. Maybe they have been doing it for people, but what I do here is different.
Ado Mahama wrote or passed a comment on Facebook. He says, please, we want to know the deep explanation of reincarnation and karma.
The reincarnation and reincarnation come. What do they mean? Reincarnation is simply that to be born back. I'm not the one who determines who should be born back or who shouldn't be born back. That is the order of nature. And if you will not be born back, you will not be born back. If you will be born back, you will be born back. Why do you worry about it? Do your best in this lifetime. And if you will be born back, you will be born back. If you will not be born back, does it really matter? It is the person that lives life that knows whether you'll be born back or you'll not be born back. And people so much get worried about reincarnation, reincarnation. What do you want to do with the reincarnation? Think about your life now. If you can do your life correct this way, if you reincarnated, if there is reincarnation, then it is better for you. If you will not use your life properly in this lifetime and you don't do good things, and if there is reincarnation, then it will be against you. Because what you sow is, whatever you sow is what you reap. So why are you people so much worried about reincarnation? What do you want to do with the reincarnation? Do your best in this lifetime. That's what you are given. That's what you know.
Daryl Hirura. Hi everyone, Papa. I'm trying to find a teacher so I can learn how to practice voodoo. I can't. What is a good approach to someone?
To someone like him?
Yes.
Oh, if you are trying to learn voodoo is a practical lesson. It is not theory. The theoretical aspect is what we are doing on Facebook, like what we are doing on this question and answer section on the Revolution platform, trying to demystify and break it down to a common understanding. If you want to practice voodoo, you need to be initiated into voodoo. No one can initiate you online. It is a practical thing. There are certain kind of voodoo they can send the item to you and send you the paradise seed to swallow. Yes, that is also there, but it's also a form of initiation. But the real initiation is a practical thing that you can. Even when I send you something over there that you should take this and initiate, especially for protection, and you, I give it to you. When you receive those items physically, you need to call me so that I can use the telephone to give you the incantation and tell you what to do and what words I'll be saying, and I'll tell you to repeat the same. And if you are lucky, by the conversation we'll be having, the effect that when you are with me practically can happen on you over millions of thousands of kilometers away. But then it depends on individuals. So voodoo is a practical thing. You need to get a practical teacher. And I believe there are practical teachers everywhere. It may not be easy for you to find them, but there are. In every community, everywhere in the world, there are good people and there are bad people. If you are really desperate to find a good person, yes, you may meet a lot of bad people, but eventually and finally, you will find a good person to teach you.
He asked the same question again, but
I think that's what I have just answered.
yes, please share.
Yes, everybody share. Please share so that more people can join in the conversation and be able to ask questions. Share on your platforms, please, and tell them that we are live.
Someone also asked what is the sin?
Sin.
We answer. See, there's a question there that somebody is asking, what is a sin? Did you see?
No,
Where?
Sometimes questions. Some are here, some will be there.
No, but if they appear somewhere, then they have to appear everywhere.
I like, because sometimes you have questions like this.
okay. These ones are I'm following. I've not reached those ones.
Oh, okay. So then move it up. Move it up. Move it up. So there's a
If you
question
don't
right
reach,
now.
These ones are at the bottom.
Okay.
okay. You follow your
So let them be moving it up so we'll be snappy so that we can answer everybody's question. Otherwise we will forget it. Yeah. Yeah, what is the next question there?
Van Perry from US says many people feel drawn into voodoo by a force or spirit. Can you talk about this phenomenon where spirits worry someone or call them priesthood?
Say where priesthood, the spirit will worry people to take the priesthood. That's what I have just answered. How do you know? You cannot be having psychosis and then without doing a reading and checking, and you tell that the spirits are calling you. You cannot just because you have a trauma and all these things, then you say spirits are calling you. And some people just call themselves that I am an old soul. Who told you you are an old soul? Voodoo is not just imagination, it's practical. So if you are having some problem, do a reading. And when you in the reading and they told you that the voodoos are worrying you or are disturbing you because they want you to be their voice, then you know that yes, I have spirits around me who want me to be their voice. And so what should I do? Then that will be your next question. And then when you get the question get answered, if you what to do, go and do a reading. And through a reading, you will be given direction. If you are supposed to be initiated into the voodoo, then you'll be initiated. If you are supposed to be initiated into whatever, you will be initiated. But don't just sit down and be imagining because somebody is crazy, so voodoo is worrying you. Who did the reading or who you consulted and told you that spirits are worrying people that they should become priests?
Henry G.H. says, I got to be your full-time cameraman. And then Nana Clement says,
I don't understand that question.
he passed a comment.
That he wants to be
Your full-time cameraman.
We are here anytime, Henry.
And Clement says, you're a great man.
Oh, thank you very much, Clement. Thank you for joining us.
Okay. Oshi Baba says, hello house. Thanks for the good work you are doing, Papa. Keep the candle burning. My question is, do talking spirits exist? I made an argument with a man who said a talking spirit exists in addition. Can people use witchcraft to do good? Thank you.
Yes, Oshi Baba, thank you. I will say it simply, there is nothing like a talking spirit. From my many years of experience over spiritual through Africa, Asia, and North America, I have not really met any talking spirits. All the talking spirits that I have met were liars, were scammers, people who were pretending to be spirits, people who hide behind curtains and pretend to be dwarfs, and are talking as if the dwarfs were talking. Spirits are not human beings, so they don't speak in human voice. So if you meet anybody who is telling you that spirits are talking spirits, those people, priests who are hiding in the corner or make a curtain in one corner and they face the wall and start to make some. Look at the back of their ears and this thing, and you will see that it is moving. That means they are talking, and this is called in English ventriloquism, or in entertainment field, it's called ventriloquism. So that is called those people who practice that they are called ventriloquists. I'm sure you might have seen some puppet. Somebody will hold a puppet on stage, and then when the puppet is on the stage, the person will be speaking inside their throat, but the puppet's mouth will be talking and making actions and all these things. That's what our people are practicing in the spiritual room and telling people that spirits are talking. It does not exist. From my own experience, I have not seen a spirit talking.
Kweku Davis says, good day, sir. What is sin?
What is sin? Sin is doing something against your inner self, which you or you yourself you know is not good, but you do it or you did it against your inner self. That's all that sin is. Crime, on the other hand, is the man-made laws. So when you break man-made laws, you commit a crime. But a sin is against you yourself, your inner self. So that's the difference between crime and sin. But a lot of times people don't know the difference, so they use crime as a sin. If somebody is a drug dealer, he's a criminal. He's not a sinner. But then if he can be called a sinner, then he knew that he's destroying other people's soul by doing the kind of business he's doing. Because people may take drug and they will lose their mind and lose their identity and lose their everything. And if the person is still doing that and know that his business is destroying people, but still he is continuing doing it, then it can be called a sin because he is going against the wishes of their inner self. But just as a business, because the law says don't smoke ganja and you are smoking ganja, it's not a sin, but it's a crime because the state laws have written that you shouldn't do it. It's human laws have written down that you should not do it. But if you are smoking ganja and ganja gives you a high mind and makes your mind clear and you are able to produce and help humanity, you have become productive to yourself and to humanity, then it is not a sin. But if you are smoking ganja and that smoking of ganja will take you into other criminal activities and destroying yourself and destroying other people, then it is a sin. So sin is doing something against your own inner self.
Okay. Abdul Muhammad says, please don't get angry. And then Ellington
You are here, Ado.
Ellington Tam. Yes.
Yeah, my brother, how are you, Ellington? Long time I saw you wearing the chief's clothing and holding your cane. Looks very, very beautiful and very handsome. Thank you.
He says, great one, sir. Watching from Nigeria. Please, we need to preserve his knowledge. That is your knowledge in practical. Toby, when are you writing a book?
It will come out. The book will come out. We've got a lot of data stored up, and once we compile them together, they are more than 10 books.
Daryl Herura says, thank you.
Thank you to Daryl. We are very grateful that you join us and for your questions.
Okay. Yeye Iyanifa Omitosin says, Ase and blessings from Europe. What does Voodoo know about born origins like shamans, seers, mediums, etc.? What place they have on the tree of Voodoo and how they get educated?
Okay, Yanifa, what the tree of life? There's no tree of life in Voodoo. There's tree of life in Kabbalah, in all other things, but in Voodoo, I have not really studied anything like this is the tree of life in Voodoo. Maybe in Ifa, there may be a tree of life, but as far as my lessons and knowledge and things I have learned, I've not even come across the word tree of life in Voodoo. Maybe it is in Ifa, maybe it is in, even in Afa, I don't come across the tree of life. But when you are talking about seers and all these things, those are the people I'm talking about as people who have the sixth sense, people who have the extra sensory perception ability or gift. Some of them become pastors. Some of them are priests. Some are not even they are into science and doing scientific research. And some are practicing voodoo. Those are the people we call the seers. Like me here, I am a sixth sense candidate. That's why I use the magic mirror. Because the magic mirror is not a formula. The compilation of the magic mirror may be a formula, but once you have been initiated into it, the formula doesn't. The formula is only the incantations to take you from this physical world into the psychic world, where you can see and then bring it back into the physical plane. So, on the tree of life, it does not exist in Voodoo. But then, if you have some reference, maybe in Haitian Voodoo, it exists, but in our Ewe Voodoo, there is nothing like a tree of life that I have learnt of as at yet. Maybe in the future I may come across the tree of life in Voodoo, but so far, for my 40 years of struggling on the spiritual path to find my way, I have not yet come around the tree of life in Voodoo. Yeah, but there's a lot of people in Voodoo whose six senses are active. And in Voodoo, we have processes and methods and formulas that can help activate your sixth sense and you become a seer. But then if you are born with it, it makes it easier, but you still need to know how to regulate and direct it properly, to know whether what you are seeing is real or it is just an imagination. Without testing and then recording and then re-recording and then retesting over something, you cannot be very sure whether you are a sixth sense or you are a seer by birth. You may have vivid dreams, some that may come true, some may not come true. But to be a very active sixth sense or a seer or somebody who is born with a vision, you need to be trained again. But then if you are lucky and you just have it already and it's happening for you, then God bless you.
Ifadara says, I appreciate your honesty and respect, Papa. And then Yila
Thank you very much, Ifadara. Thank you very much.
Yila Okan says she's watching from Japan.
Oh, thank you, Ila. How are you?
Van Perry from US asks, when a priest offends a spirit, is it possible they may punish or hurt the priest?
Yes, Van. What happened is that when you are a priest and you have some deities or principalities, spirits, voodoo, or whatever name you want to call them, entities, intelligences, people have all kind of names for the same thing. Depend on the culture you are coming from. In our Ewe culture, we call them all voodoo. That's what it is. That's why the word voodoo, because all these principalities, identities or entities, spirits, deities, intelligences, angels, saints, just call them or just name them. In our culture, they are called voodoo. Simple and short, voodoo. So when you have some voodoos with you, or when you have a voodoo or a deity or a principality or an intelligence or a saint or an angel or an archangel with you, just like we human beings are, we have certain things that we don't like. Like, let's say I don't like eating pork. Pork is not my favorite food. And then I happen to have a spirit, and the spirit also does not eat pork. Now, if someone who eats pork acquires this spirit that doesn't eat pork, or the spirit does not like pork, the spirit may have its own reason why it doesn't like pork. I don't know. But then someone who acquired this spirit or got this intelligence or this principality or deity or whatever to work with, and then pork is the person's favorite food. So when you eat the pork, when you approach the spirit will tell you that I don't eat pork, so please don't come near me. You can eat your pork, but when you eat your pork, please don't come near me. The spirit will advise you. But if you don't listen to the advice of the spirit and you eat or you ate pork, and you decided to go and work with the spirit can punish you. It can choose not to talk or do something to harm you because you are harming its vibration. Because maybe by eating pork, it disturbs its vibration and its wavelength. That's why it has given you a warning or an advice that if in case you should eat your favorite food, please don't come and work with me. Like this Avlapo here. I don't know if people can see saying this Avlapo. This is also a spirit. And these are part of it. This particular spirit, this is the male. The male, it's a male and female. The female is in a pot. And this is the male. The male, when you eat palm oil, supposing you have eaten something cooked with palm oil, you can still work with the male. But the female, which is the pot, when you touch palm oil, you cannot work with it. You cannot go and pray to it. You cannot do anything with it. But if you feel that, oh, you are the master, that's why you go there. When you get hurt or harm, it's your own palaver. Because before you will be initiated into it, They will tell you things that you should do and what you shouldn't do. That is why it is not advisable for people just to see anything on social media or in a movie or anything and start thinking that they can just do it for themselves, because every spirit or every voodoo has got its do's and don'ts. And the person who is initiating you into them should be the best person to tell you that don't do this, but do this, so that you will not hurt yourself. So when the spirits are offended, they can choose to hurt you even physically, or they will fail to work with you next time you want to work with them. They may decide even to vacate and leave you completely because you are not following their regulation. And then you will think that because the physical thing that you have been given called the voodoo is there, so it is still there. The spirit inside is gone.
Okay. Kweku Davis says, question on sin well answered, and then he understands it.
Thank you very much, Koku. I'm very grateful.
Okay. Sema Israel says, great answer on the same question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Senator.
Ifadara says, awesome.
Thank you, Ifadara.
Shamba Musa Muhammad says, hello from Ohio. When spirits show themselves to people who can see, what do they appear as?
Shamba Musa, how are you? Yeah, the scammer is using your name Musa. Right, but I know it's not you, like we laughed over it already. That you are Shamba Musa Muhammad, and he is a scammer, call himself Musa, wherever he stole your name from, I don't know. But anyway, when spirits appear to people, they appear in different forms. When spirits want to take physical expression or physical nature, they appear in a form that you can comprehend and receive them. If the spirit is wanted to frighten you, it will appear in a form of a frightful entity in such a way that you'll be scared. And if the same spirit wants to show itself to you in a very beautiful form, it will come in a form that you will not be afraid. It depends. The spirits can take any form of their choice. There is no specific form that they should. But negative spirits are there and positive spirits are there. And each one, maybe the negative spirits will take a form in which you will see and know that this is a negative spirit. And then a positive spirit will take a form in which it will show you that this is a positive spirit. Like I was saying the last Saturday's this and that. When I was a boy, I met a dwarf who I wasn't not with anybody. I went to toilet in the pit toilet in my grandfather's cocoa farm somewhere alone in the afternoon, and I saw this thing. It didn't frighten me. I just saw that the thing was sitting on a small horse. I thought it was elephant. And then later when I grew up, I came to understand that dwarves ride on a wild boar, the bush pig. So what I saw was actually a boar, a wild pig. But then because I was a child, I thought because of the tusk, because I only knew that only elephants had tusks, so I thought it was an elephant. But it wasn't a frightening thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't have chased it to verify. So spirits appear to you in a form that they choose to. But if they want to scare you, they will appear in a form that will frighten you. But if they want to be friendly with you, they will appear in a friendly form so that you can get closer to them. Musa, I hope I have, Musa Shamba, I hope I have answered your question.
Yela Okaim says yes, you need to write a book. Yemifa Omin Tosin says, not tree of life, I mean the ancestors tree in Voodoo.
But Yemifa, I want to understand what is the ancestors tree in Voodoo. I don't understand. Because when you say ancestors, like in my family line, my ancestors came from my great-grandfather. So when I start invoking, I invoke from that my great-grandfather all the way down to my father. Or sometimes I start invoke, I always invoke from that great-grandfather all the way down to my father. That's how my ancestral tree of life is. But then if there's anything else apart from that, you can clarify it. If I understand that and I know the answer, or I think I can answer, sure, I will give you the answer. But when you say ancestral tree in voodoo, because one thing is that the Ebe voodoo is not like the Yoruba Ifa, where you have these pantheon spirits of Yamaya, this and that, this Obatala. We don't have that. We don't have that. Voodoo is just someone can have a voodoo that other people may not have. Like I have this abochi here. Yes, some people have abochi. It's very common. Some people, it's not very common, but some people have abochi, and some people even call it kofi. They call it kofi. People have a different name for it. But then abochi, which means friend or padiman in Hausa. So it is there. Some people will have it. Okay, I have Akain here. There's the original Akain, and this is the one that we have as a base in the house when we travel. With don't leave home without it. And this one is always at the home, but we can't travel with it very easily unless we have a very big occasion. Then we take the bigger one. But then this one fits into my pocket and into my bag, so it goes everywhere in the world with me easily. Some people may not have Akain, and not many people in Voodoo will even know about Akain. And then some people's Akain may not be in this form. Some even they are making it inside the Asanka or inside the effing pot. And then some people they make their own inside some people's own is inside what do you call it? It's inside a pot. Yes. Okay. And this Togwe Ablakpo is here. And the Ablakpo is one spirit. And then they have different Akpo. So some people may not have Ablakpo, but they may have Akpo. So the Ebe Voodoo is not like the Ifa concept, which is more of a religious concept by placing Oduduwa or Olodumare at the top, whereby other spirits fall under. No. The voodoo, like people will say voodoo da, voodoo hebia, so voodoo this thing. They are all there, but there are so many people who have voodoos that don't have anything to do with voodoo da or whatever. So the system of Ifa and Orisha is a little bit different from Afa and voodoo. A little bit different, even though the Afa is originally came from the Yoruba people or from Nigeria, but the Ebes have adopted Afa and had made it their own in such a way that we have our own explanation of the Afa when the oracle or the Odus fall, and then the way we explain it and the way we call it is totally, not totally, but somehow a little bit different from the way the Yorubas call their own. The only word that is common is the meji, which is the double, which it means that shows you that it originated from the Yorubas or from Nigeria. So, so the question of ancestral tree of life, I don't really understand it.
Monica Kova says, good morning from New York. Blessings.
Yeah, Monica, good morning. How are you? Hope you are fine.
Okay. Evans Jalav says he's from Bo. He's watching from Bo.
Yeah, Evans. Like me for you that. Me will dodgy. I pena me kekebe me join me.
Please, why is it that when people go to fetch for Asiyo later on it turns to witchcraft? Why, please?
When people fetch what?
Asiyo.
When people went to fetch Asiyo. Okay, Asiyo, as the word is in Ewe, Asiyo means attraction, something that can bring market to you. Asi is market or business, and sometimes it can also mean spouse. Asi. So something that can draw a spouse to you, or bring a market to you or business to you, in Ewe is called asiyo. Yo means to call, to bring to, or to pull towards you. Asiyo, how to get the market. A lot of people who go to get asiyo in the olden days and even today, some asiyos are there and are supposed to be fed from time to time. And when you get an asiyo or an attraction spirit, and it has worked for you for so long, it has worked for you for many years and giving you all that it is, and you have been feeding it. It got to a point that some people become older and they lose the dynamism to continue doing what they have been doing for their voodoo, to get business or get attraction or get things going on. So they stop feeding these voodoos for a very long time. But the voodoos are supposed to be there to work for you, and it is for life. And if you stop feeding them, they begin to demand for food. And west of the West, I don't want people who are gender equality people in the world to get angry with it. This is a fact in voodoo. When a woman is young and she is struggling to make business or get a husband or get things done, and she goes in for asiyo. Everybody open your ears and listen very carefully. And goes in for asiyo. And maybe she does not feed the asiyo regularly once in a while. But because the woman is menstruating, so anytime that she menstruated, blood falls or blood comes out of her, that asiyo benefits. That spirit benefits from it. So when the woman gets to a menopause state whereby she is no more menstruating, then the asiyo voodoo also is not going to be getting any blood. And then they are also not killing any animal for it and all these things. So it begins to look for blood. It begins to look for food. And that is when it turns into witchcraft. So when you have asiyo and you get to a point that you know you cannot handle it, you best thing is to dismiss it. Or how to dismiss it is to send it to the people who have made it for you. And if the priest is no more alive and the shrine is no more alive, you can consult other spiritualists who are equally good people or good spiritualists to do a reading and see what to do and how to dismiss the spirit, so that the spirit will not later be with you and you cannot take care of it, and it will begin to demand for food and then start to catch people around you. So Zion, what is it? Evans, I guess you have understood my answer. If it is not clear, you can still ask a follow-up question.
Kofi K says, good afternoon, Toby.
Yeah, Kofi, how are you?
When you sacrifice an animal to a voodoo, can you still eat that same animal?
We chop it every time, quick. We make light soup. That's why I was saying. That's why I was saying that the African man's voodoo eats pepper soup. They eat fufu, they eat jemple, papransa. So when you kill the animal for the voodoo only needs the blood, and after the blood is taken. Because inside the blood is where the life is. So the voodoo or the voodoo entity needs that life force to empower itself to be strong. So when you kill the animal, the time of the animal, that's why we don't kill the animal finish and then come and show it to the voodoo. You kill the blood on the voodoo so that the voodoo can get the while the blood is coming out of the animal that you are sacrificing. The voodoo will now capture that life force and use it to build its own self and work for you. The remaining carcass is for chop. Unless, of course, if the voodoo say that don't eat the meat, especially when we are feeding the witches. The witches can tell you that this animal you are killing for us, we don't want anybody to take even a single piece out of it. Then you don't. But if your ears are hard and you are stubborn and you say, oh, this doesn't mean anything, you can go and try it and see. Your blockers will grow big like this and you will see there's something different somewhere.
Monica Kova says, this is excellent information because it makes sense. The food that is not accepted is very crucial to the spirit if you want to work with them.
Yes.
Okay. Sarah also commented on a few of the posts to help people understand, to better understand it. Senna also the same. So Uli X Kwame says, hello, this is Toby
Toby.
Ayez Roka from Tema. Please.
Toby,
Ayez Roka.
Okay. Toby, Nchobedo. That's the
From
Toby who
Tema.
came last time.
From Tema.
Yes, he came last Saturday to be with us.
Oh, okay.
The one we live in Japan together. Yeah.
He says, please write a book.
Oh, you talk with Mercy. Happy. Me no gonna go. I got you cry. All gonna go do. And you talk about when I see you now gonna go. But you go me the globe. Okay, information only that. The information is there, and we are putting them together, and it will come out in the form of a book for sure.
Ifadara also said yes, it is. She was responding to one of the statements you made. Van Perry from US asks, do solar spirits like Akain cause you to radiate? What would be the effect of working with lunar spirits?
Yeah, solar solar spirit like Akain, we say that is from the sun sphere. It makes you to shine. Lunar spirits also let you shine, also in their own way. People who are dealing with lunar spirits tend to be able to deal with emotional situations because the lunar, as they call us in lunatic, people who are crazy are called lunatic because the phases of the moon affects them. It's also in Voodoo that people know that at certain times of the month that certain energies or the moon is very strong and the effect of the moon is very strong, and it has effect on human beings. So when you are dealing with lunar spirits, it is the same. I don't have too many lunar spirits with me, but I am sure I have some. But then when I get to that, I will begin to teach you people about it.
Ushi Baba says, Papa, please, if I wish for Abuchi, can I get it?
Ushi Baba, I am willing to give Abochi to anyone who wants to get it. But before I can give you Abochi, I must know and ask the Voodoo if it will work with you. And then it is not an online thing that I'll ask the Voodoo whether it will work with you. It's a physical thing that you have to be physically in my presence. And then if I ask the Voodoo and the Voodoo say yes, it wants to work with you, then when I start the process, it will make it easier for me because the Voodoo itself is ready to work with you. But just to tell you as if Voodoo is in the market to come and buy and go, no, I don't think so. These things are very precious to me. They are like my father's, and I don't just give them out to people for the sake of the money they will pay me. No.
Efia Sarewa wants to know whether there's a special way to pray to her good destiny.
Yes, Efia, the special way to pray to your destiny is just like praying to your ancestors. When you wake up, pour water or drink and say, call yourself Efia Sarewa's destiny. I am feeding you. Whatever you are, please try to express yourself in me and open the doors for me so that I can be able to set you up and know the proper way. Because like we were saying, the song that we sing, Ese Kopolito, Ese Datafia, Ese Joto, Ame Joto, Ese Enananu Ame, Ese Etenanu Ame. When they say Ese Tenanu Ame, people were thinking that when they say Ese Tenanu Ame, means it will make a boil on your listen. No, means Ese gives an essay also can deny you. When your life is denying you and opportunities are not coming, it is your own essay who is denying you those opportunities. So we say essay tenanu ame, means essay gives, and at the same time essay denies you. So that's why the song says that everything, to have a good child, or get a good husband or good wife, it is essay who gives. To get a good child or bad child, it's essay that gives or denies you a good thing. So essay gives and essay denies. So when you pray to essay, you say call the name essay Popoliko, essay Datafia, essay Joto Ame Joto. Ame Joto means the one that has become human, like me. It is my destiny who has taken this form. That's why I'm in this form. So the day my destiny leaves this physical body, I am a dead person. So essay Joto Ame Joto, essay Nanu Ame, essay Tenu Ame. Then you can go on to ask essay to give you good things to come your way. That you don't want bad things to be coming your way. So it should teach you, or she should teach you how to get the good things coming your way. The process is there. When we are setting up the good essay for people, we teach you all the process, because if you look at the videos, we don't use knife to kill animal for essay. Essay itself must accept its animal through a process where you lay the chicken back, its back and face up, or the chest up, and then you start saying the incantations of essay, and somehow it will die. So that is how it is in our culture. Even when we are doing the negative essay, we don't use a knife to kill animal for it. So it is even when you are doing the positive one too, you don't use knife to kill an animal for it. The essay itself must accept its food. That's why there's a song in the essay that we say, Blailo Essenye Blaima we nawa boboga. Blaima we nawa boboga. Essenye Blelo Essenye Blema we nawa boboga. Which simply means that, oh my destiny, please bind it so that I can kill it for you. My destiny, please bind it so that I can kill it for you. So that shows that the essay itself is the one going to bind the animal or suffocate the animal so the animal will die. I hope I have answered the Afia Sarwa's question.
Yes. The Cook Davis wants to know the relationship between voodoo and horoscope.
Okay, in voodoo we don't have a horoscope. Horoscope is a European and maybe Egyptian or Indian astrology. Yeah, horoscope comes from astrology. But you see, in the Ebe people, we don't have 12 months. The Ebes don't have 12 months that make a year. We have 13. We have 13 months that make a year. So there's a little bit different from what the Western astrology, which is based on 12 months, is. But Aries, we have 13 months. So our months are always 28 days, 28 days. Our months do not go into 29 or 30 days or 31 days. The Aries only have 28 days in a month. It's only now that some people are trying to adjust the Ebe calendar to look like the Western calendar. So astrology in Ebe, I may not be able to talk very much about it. Of course, we know, the Ebes know about the heavens, and that's why they will tend to some angle or look at certain time of the day or time of the night to do sacrifices, because that corresponds with the astrological thing. But we are not directly talking about astrology. Because once you have your essay destiny, because it is upon your destiny that everything is. So it is not your star in astrology that makes your changes. Yes, it may affect you if you are using Western and Chinese astrologies to do. Yes, you can see some similarities in it. But we as Ebes or in Ebe Voodoo, The whole thing is based on your body or on your essay. Once these two are set, whether you are in the month of January or in the month of December, it does not matter. The cell should be able to guide you through the lane. What I came to start is that they want to practice voodoo, but they don't like blood. They don't like to see blood. So is there any way that they will not do sacrifices? I said, why do you want to practice voodoo? There are so many other spiritual practices that don't use blood. Well, go and practice them. If you want to practice voodoo, it is blood. And if you want to practice voodoo, it is regulations and rules. It is not a force to come and practice voodoo, but if you have the interest in going to practice voodoo, then you must be ready to follow the rules. The first part of the question, give me the first part of the question. Because
Can herbs work without it being associated with voodoo or juju?
Yes, herbs are herbs. But who can you just walk to a herb and say, herb, tell me what you can do? The people who has given us the knowledge of herbs to use were juju people, and they were voodoo people. So if you want to work with herbs without what knowledge they are passing down on, it's up to you. Go and ask the herb what it can do, maybe to tell you. Then don't follow the people who were juju people and voodoo people who put their knowledge down. Then don't follow those ones. You can. The herbs are there. You can all see them. You can walk to them and ask them, what can you do? And maybe they can tell you.
Evans Jala says, thank you for answering the question. Evans Jala from Ho says, thank you. This is a major problem in Ho Central.
Asiyo.
That's you. Yes.
Evans, how do you know it's a major problem? Are you there with the people who got Asiyo before you know that it's a major problem?
No, I think it's relative.
Maybe in his house. Don't say the major problem in Ho. Which part of Ho, and then you say it's a major problem. Interesting.
Okay. Carlos Slim says, watching from Takrady.
Thank you, Carlos. Welcome to Revolution Facebook Live.
Julio Zeus says, Papa, if voodoo priests perform sacrifice for an individual, does the individual need to believe in it before it works or not?
Voodoo is a practical thing. It's not a faith-based tradition. Voodoo is not faith-based. You don't need to believe anything in voodoo. If a voodoo man say, I'll kill you today, believe it or not. If you like, you can go and tell Pope Francis to put all the Bibles in the world around you. You will die. You don't need to believe it. It's not a belief thing. It's a practical thing. Or you can even let the Pope put you inside his cassock. Then you can hide inside that. If voodoo say you will die, they will catch you wherever you are. So it is not a faith. You don't need to believe anything in voodoo for it to work for you. So when a voodoo priest performs a ritual for you, it is not your belief that is going to make it work. It is the formula. If the formula that he is using or he uses is accurate and authentic, it will work. Whether you believe or you don't believe, it will work. Voodoo is a practical thing. It's not a faith or faith-based practice. That's why people cannot. No. You don't need to be a tough guy and put so many talismans around your head and face, like these malams we are seeing on Facebook who wear some kuku lojo, like something, and wear some kind of batakari that you see the person all as if it's controversy. But then they call themselves, they think that when they do like that, then that makes them look very decent. Yes, you can wear spiritual clothing and batakari, but you must be a very simple person. You don't need to be a big man or this thing. I wear this thing, I'm a voodoo priest. I can walk into any church, people will think I'm coming to worship, or people will think maybe I'm the pastor. But I am a voodoo priest.
Kofi says, great education.
Thank you, Kofi.
Carlos Slim asks, please ask Papa that when my dad was alive, he did not have any voodoo, but he used to kill a fowl and pray to the spirits around. Ask Papa that while he is no more, does that have any effect?
Carlos, your father may not have any voodoo that you have seen with your eyes, But he has voodoo. Otherwise, he will not be killing the chicken or animal to pour the blood down. There's a possibility that the voodoos were buried in the ground. Also, there's a possibility that the voodoos were somewhere far away from where he was. But because he has taken the seed of the voodoo inside of him, so anytime he prays or calls the voodoo's name and say, "Oh, I am giving you food," the voodoos will be present. Voodoo is not a physical thing; it's a spiritual thing. It's an invisible thing. You don't need to see it for it to work. That's one thing. And sometimes voodoo, when you master it to a point, sometimes you don't even need to talk. You just put your mind and direct it, and then it works. So the person may not even say anything, but you just say the things in his mind, and before you know, the actions start happening. So it is not always that it has to be physical before it is fed. Your father had it, and then when your father passed on, and if he did not tell you people anything about what he was feeding, then it is not your place to feed anything because you don't know what he was feeding. So it will not be advisable for you to begin to kill a chicken or kill something and say, "Oh, your father was doing so, you are doing it." Because what about if the voodoo didn't like you? Or the voodoo does not like you or did not like you, and then you are killing chicken, it will kill you yourself. Maybe the agreement your father had with them when he was alive, that agreement has expired, and then the voodoo is gone. But then if your father had told you certain things that in his hometown or in his village or in this part, he has gone to do this voodoo, and that voodoo has been protecting him and the house, and when he is gone or when he is no more, you should continue, then that's a very good thing. And another way is that if you are doing a reading, whether a consultation, whether through a prophet, a Christian prophet who is a good seer, or through a traditional priest, or through a malam who is a real malam. I'm not talking about these fake people who want to scam people. And then they tell you that, "Oh, your father, there's a spirit your father used to work with, and the spirit is also following you." Then you can now ask the person who has seen the spirit following you that. So ask the spirit, "What should I do if I want to benefit from its favor?" And if the person is a good seer, the person will explain to you and tell you, or the voodoo will speak to the person, and the person will tell you what to do. And once you do it, you will get the benefits.
Evans Jalav.
Please share this thing on your platform so that other people can see. We are coming to the close of the section, so please. Evans.
Evangelal says,
Yes.
Toby, if you want to learn about herbs, do you do initiations?
I don't teach in my shrine. I don't teach people about anything if you are not initiated into my shrine. Why? Because why should I teach you when you are not part of what I know and you will not follow rules? It's like me giving you a gun and bullets to go and begin shooting down anybody that you get angry with. But then maybe I have gun and bullets and I am a hunter and I go only to the bush to be shooting down or killing animals for food. Now, I did not teach you my ways. You don't know which rules and regulations that I abide by or I abide with. And then I just give the gun and I listen to you, and you don't even know that I used to go to bush. You only see gun and bullet. If you have it, anyone who makes you angry, you shoot them down. And you know, in the spiritual field, there is no policeman who is going to catch you because somebody died. Because when a person dies and it is voodoo or Hebia, so who killed the person, when you turn it around, there is no wound on the person. So who are you going to catch that is the one who killed? So for me to be able to teach you about herbs, because the herbs are the combination of the herbs is what makes voodoo. Each herb has a spirit. Each herb is an entity, and each herb is powerful. Each herb is powerful enough to cause changes in nature, whether it's a good change or a bad change, or bad effect or good effect. Each herb has its power. By knowing the secret of the herb, I am exposing people who don't know the secret of these herbs to you, whereby you can choose to use this against them or use it for them. So for me to be able to teach you, I will have to make you a student. And to make you a student, I need to initiate you before I can teach you. I will not teach you just because you want to learn. If you will not be a student under me to learn, no, I will be exposing myself in the world to danger.
Yanifa to sin says, okay, every spirit has a tree where human can switch between their good and then their goods, that's crown, and then roots, ancestors. Shamans would climb up to the other worlds and climb down. The tree of a culture means middle world, that's the world we live, human, and the tree resamples in bracket all the voodoo in it. Voodoo gods, dwarfs, and other nature spirits, all what exists in voodoo that resamples the tree. In Ifa, the crown of the tree would bloom all of. In Ifa, the crown of the tree would bloom of all Orisha. The fruits would be all living forms, and the roots would be connected to the worlds who feed and supply. That's from the year Yanifa Omitosi.
Okay, thank you. Well, I have not gone so deep into what you are. I am a very simple person, as I have written to you many times. I make voodoo very simple, and I don't make things spirituality so complicated where people will not understand what I am teaching. I decided to teach things that I know. And what I don't know, I don't teach. Like this Orisha and the voodoos all being in this thing, I did not learn that from anybody yet. And I don't teach those things. I make voodoo very simple. I told you, I wrote to you, and I told you that why do you make every time trying to make things look so complicated? Not many people can understand this thing. That whether voodoos are blooming and they are living beings and there's insight in between this. No. I teach very, very simple things. I bring it down to earth for the common person, even a child, to understand what nature is and how to live in harmony with nature. When you bring all these complications each time, so many things, I mean, maybe your students are on that line, but the kind of students that I teach, I bring it down so simple that they should know A and B, 1 + 1 is 2. It makes it easier for me than all that long story of which one blooms and which one didn't bloom. They bloom human beings or living things, and Orisha and voodoos live in this world. No. I don't teach those things. I'm a very simple person, and if I'm simple does not mean that I don't know what I am doing. At least I have over 40 years of experience in what I am teaching.
Julius Zeu asks, please, Papa, if writing the book will delay, please can you do audio recording that can be on pen drives? My humble appeal.
Julius, I have a lot of things on the Facebook. I have a lot of things on what do you call it, YouTube, and then I have a lot of stuff in books. I don't know if you see my books, are too many. I have books and notes and all this in there. What you need to know is that it is not how much you are reading from books that makes you a very good candidate of voodoo. It is the practicality of what you learn and how to apply it and see practical results. That's what matters most. If you can learn about one single herb, if you can learn about one single herb, and then if someone has got a boil or got a boil in his armpit or in his back or whatever, and you can learn that herb and that herb, when you apply it on the boil of the person and the person will be healed, that is what matters. It is not how much book you read about what. I am here to teach practical things. I am here to educate people about nature, how to live in harmony with nature. That's what I teach. So it is not how many books that I will write down or will not write down that matters. I have audio recordings of over hundreds of video tapes, audio tapes, MD cassettes, CDs, and now digital. This is all stored up, each one on a particular subject that I discuss, and practically teaching what it is. These things are there. If you want to be a student and you want to learn, yes, you will learn. I'm not going to write a book and give the secrets of voodoo into the open air, even if I write a book and I explain all this thing. But I'm not going to give the secret of voodoo just to anybody. Jesus Christ said, don't give the food of the children to the dogs. And I am following that principle. I'm not just going to give knowledge and wisdom to people who are stupid, who are so don't know what to do and are wicked, that they will just see this and say, oh, it's an opportunity for us. Kojo is doing something bad to me. Let me put this herb and that herb together so that Kojo can fall down tomorrow and break his knee. I'm not going to do that.
Patricia Amo Ifia Sariwa says, oh, Papa, I'm very pleased with your answer. You are a great man.
Thank you, Ifia.
Yila Okai says, we need to learn that essay song you're singing.
And maybe it will be later pushed onto the Facebook and onto the YouTube so that you can all learn it. Then Senna can add the lyrics in writing onto it so that you can also copy it down. It is not very difficult song. It's just say, which one did I sing that really? Menya one. I didn't sing Menya one. Did I sing Menya one? Blelo, Esenye blema wina wa boboga. Senye blema wina wa boboga. Senye plum de top boboga. Senye plum de jo boboga. Blelo, Esenye blema wina wa boboga. It is my essay that has led me into getting drowned. It is my essay that has led me into fire. So my essay should bind it so that I'll kill it for you. Then me too, I'll be free. Essay is very interesting thing. So when you have essay done, yes, first the negative and then the positive, things become very clear in your life. A horoscope and all these things, and other people, that is also their method. But we, the Eves of Everland, our method is how to get Jogbese straightened up. And that's it. Hindus will be going talking about astral world and all these things. We talk about our Jogbese. Finish. Yes, any question?
Yes, said the first thing is who is teached or taught as spirit is how to travel. Drums are made of a tree, so when one is connected with voodoo, without a tree, a serpent cannot climb. A voodoo can't speak with its human.
Yes, I agree that drums are made with a tree trunk and then animal skin. Drums in my culture are not only a tree, but they are also made out of animal skin. And even some drums are not even made out of any tree at all. They are made out of gago, like brekete. We don't use any tree. We use a drum, like metal, to make brekete. It's not a tree. So when you come with that, it is not complete, because drums are, I know in the Yoruba or the Igbo, they only make trees and people beat trees and this. But in our every culture, we don't beat trees, just cut a tree and make a hole into it and start hitting it and create sound. It's not in our culture. It is in many other African cultures. But in every culture, I'm talking about every people. I'm not talking about generally African traditional spirituality, because every culture has their own way of calling their God and appeasing spirits, and then how to approach spirits. But my teachings here in African Magic Temple on Revolution platform Facebook Live is mostly about what every culture is, what every traditional spirituality is. So when we start to bring in all the other kind of things, sometimes it clouded the space and people will not know what I am teaching about. Yes, trees make people make drum, and spirits cannot enjoy or cannot manifest if they don't get a drum and all that. That's also very true. But then not all drums are made out of trees. So what I am trying to say that what I teach here is very simple. I'm just teaching very simple things and explaining people how to live in harmony with nature and know how to understand nature and work with nature and get the benefits of nature. Not so many cloudy which spirit was going in the west and going in the east or north or south. No. If I get there, then when I am entering into astrology, then I will make it very clear that I'm going to teach about astrology. And then I will also refer to where astrology came from. And if I am going to teach about astral journey, then I will explain that. If I am going to teach about Tantra yoga, and I'm going to teach about all the gurus and indriyas and tan mantras and all these things in tantric yoga, then I will define it and then begin to break those things down. But what I am teaching now mostly is I'm talking about voodoo. And if I'm going to teach about Kabbalah, like last Saturday when I was praying at the Shem Hamforash and the Semiforash, on which the Abraxas stand. Yes, that is, I explained that this is Kabbalah and it is a Hebrew form of voodoo, and these are the names that 72, 36. So I am teaching. But then when I'm teaching something, then you bring something from the back which does not really align with what I'm teaching, that's what I'm reacting to. That I'm just being simple, I'm teaching simple things for people to understand what voodoo is. We are demystifying voodoo so that people can see that it is not evil as it has been made to our own people to think or to understand that voodoo is evil. So when we come in with so many other things, this one is here, that one, it will confuse people. Yanifa, I'm not against what you are saying that it does not exist, but I am teaching every voodoo and I'm talking about every voodoo. If you listen to my teachings, I don't talk very much about Orisha, and I don't talk very much about Ifa. I will make reference to Ifa and maybe make reference to Orisha, but I don't teach because I'm not a voice on Orisha practices, and I am not an adept in Orisha practices. Even though I had been initiated into Afa, the Eve Afa, but then I am more of a voodoo priest, and which is the origin of Eve traditional spirituality, and that's what I teach.
Nila Okaim says she's taking note about what you said regarding voodoo is not a faith-based thing. When Kofi K said himself, is that thunderstone on your table, and is that the female one, and what is it?
Kofi, I have all the two. This is the female and this is the male. Esope. This is the female thunderstone and this is the axe. So they are the ones on the table.
You want to know what is uses?
Oh, these are used in voodoo. It depends on what me in our shrine, we use it to bath. We prepare spiritual bath for people and we put them inside so that the energy of thunder, the energy of what do you call it, Kebiaso, can be inside as well, because when we are praying, we are calling all the entities, the principality, the deities, the voodoos, or the spirits that I work with. Some are set up with the thunderstones in them. So when I'm praying to all these spirits and want to prepare a herbal bath for you, once I put this into it, I invite I have invited the thunder spirit of Hebiasu to also be part of the cleansing or bathing of whoever is taking bath. That's why I have them here. But this one, the children just put them to hold the napkin or the tablecloth. Yeah.
Okay. Leslie, Omar wants to find out if the voodoo is not working, do you still have to feed it?
No, if you have a voodoo is not working, why do you feed it? Then you are just pouring water over stone. That's why you have to know whether your voodoo is working or it's not working. And how do you know your voodoo is not working? When you are sending the voodoo to do something and the voodoo is not doing it, the voodoo may still be working, but because maybe you have done something wrong or you are not pure, or the voodoo had told you not to do something, but you have done it, so the voodoo refused to listen to your voice. You must do a reading to find out whether the voodoo is still active. It happens to all of us. Even in my shrine, there are certain voodoos, they don't work. And I decide to throw them away or destroy them or dismiss them. Then before I would do that, I would do a reading with another priest, not by myself. Because if I do it myself, I'll be biased because I have in mind that the voodoo is not working for me. So it's not working, I want to destroy it or dismiss it. So I'll consult with another priest to find out if this voodoo is working or it's not working. And then I'll tell the priest that I've been praying to it, but I'm not seeing its response as it used to be. And in most cases, the priest will tell you that the voodoo side is still there. But then there's this you should do before it will be active again. There's possibility that I might have done something that did not go in line with the vibration of the voodoo, so the voodoo decided not to be active again. Or someone might have come into my shrine or visited me with the intention to put, because there are some herbs, when you put it on a voodoo, the voodoo will cease to work. No matter how powerful the voodoo is, because that is the power of that herb to control things from not moving. So this is the knowledge of voodoo, knowledge of a traditional African spirituality, knowing which herb can work. That's why I was saying that I'm not going to just teach people anything, because I'll teach you that, oh, this herb, when you take it and put it in this man's house, thunder will strike. And then someone will just say, oh, make you angry. Tomorrow you just throw the herb inside the person's house and thunder strike and kill the person. Who will bear the karma? It's me, because I'm the one who taught you.
Oh, must we ask questions?
Balance.
Halfway.
Maybe I will work. No, let me back. So you must find out why the voodoo is not working first. And if it's not working, you don't. If the voodoo is not working, you don't need to feed it, because why do you feed something that doesn't work for you? Even in China, I remember when I was living in Malaysia, every year they would throw away some voodoo, plenty voodoo on the eve of the Chinese New Year and get new ones. If the voodoo is not working, some voodoos will work up to some time, and once that time finishes, they are gone. So if you are still keeping them with you and you think that they are still there, they are not there. So you must continue finding out. You might, like a few days back, I always spoke about Akai. And then a few days back, Akai asked me that I should change all its herbs, because the herbs in it had not been, they have used up. They have used up their energy and everything, so it's no more active like it should be. So I had to remove all the herbs, get the new herbs, and added new ones to it, remove the old ones, and then recharge it again and kill the exact animal that it wanted to eat. And then Akai became so happy. I myself, I saw it, I was surprised. It began to shine, and the bottle outside started to shine and show. So when you have a voodoo with you, and if you think it's not working, it is either the voodoo, the herbs in it, the time has expired, just like a battery, a car battery or a torchlight battery. The time has expired. So you must find out why the voodoo is not working. And once you found out why the voodoo is not working, if there's a way to work it and make it work, then you go on to that. And if there is no any other way, and you can ask the voodoo, so should I dismiss you? And if you say yes, then you can throw it away. But then feeding a voodoo that is not working, no. I have a voodoo in my house here called Atupa voodoo. When I got it, it started working a few days, but the people who brought it to me They came here, they wanted to steal me, they want to cheat me. And I caught them, and then we had a problem. So, because they brought the voodoo to me, they know what to do to make the voodoo not to work, even though I had paid for it. And that voodoo hadn't worked for the past 10 years, so me, I've not fed it for 10 years. If there is hungry, if he's hungry, I told him to go to the person who brought it to me. Go and eat food there. I'm very practical in my approach to voodoo work. Yes, if you brought something to me, I paid for it, and then you have decided to cheat me, or because you were cheating me, I caught you, and then you decided to invoke the spirit of the voodoo because you know the secret of the voodoo more than me, and then you made it not to work. If the voodoo says it's hungry, I'll tell the voodoo to go to you, and if you cannot feed it, it will kill you. So that is it. So when you have a voodoo and it's not working, please don't feed it, but make sure you find out.
Okay, Carlos.
We have gone. It's now 4 p.m. in Ghana here, 16 o'clock. We're closing down very soon. And is there any question there?
Yes.
Yes. Let's take few questions. Please, are you sure we covered most of the ones that came accordingly?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Carlos Lim says thanks so much for the answer. Kofi K asks, can you place both male and female thunderstone at the same place?
Yes, of course, they have to work together. Is it not man and woman who come together to born baby?
Alfred Tepu says, hello, I'm Alfred Tepu from Tanigbe. My dad, Mr. Papi Kojo Tepu, greets you. I want to ask...
Togwi Tepre, Miawezo, Akpekaka.
I want to ask if it's possible to learn about how to communicate with herbs.
Yes, of course. When you are a student at any shrine, not necessarily African Magic Temple, but any shrine who is authentic shrine, they will teach you about how to communicate with herbs. But if you think that you want to come and learn from us, we will teach you. We have rules and regulations. We will charge you for our teaching, put you into the initiation. We will take all those things from you.
Julius Zewu says, thank you, Papa, for the answer based on the belief or not question. Now my mind is clear. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Julius, thank you to Akpe. The question is an interesting question. So before you know, time is gone. So we have gone almost 2 hours, right?
3 hours.
We are almost going to 3 hours. Okay, people out there, I think we have done almost 3 hours, and today, for the first time, we were on. I pray and hope that in our next session, there will be more questions on this. And don't forget, on the 7th of November, we are going to have a screening of our short movie, Revolution's short movie, Like a Knife, the Real Voodoo, at the German Cultural Center in Accra, Ghana. Any one of you who will be in Accra around this time, 7th of November, starting at 5 p.m.
6:30.
From 6:30 p.m. can come to the German Cultural Center. I'll be there live to answer your questions, live section after the screening of the short movie. I will be there to answer questions for people. So if you are in town, please come over to the German Cultural Center, the Goethe Institute, and on the 7th of November from 6:30 p.m. It is somewhere located near the NAFTI, National Film and Training, whatever Institute. So that's it, and we thank you. I'm still preparing the oil for you. The oil is ready. The oil, Akai's oil, is ready to go, and then the soap is also ready. You can mix camera. The oil is here. Akai's oils are here. The soap is ready. I have a little bit more to do on the fumigation or the incense. That's what it is. So when all these three are set, this one is ready. This is also ready. The remaining this one, and when this one is ready, then we will do consultation with the spirits to find out whether we can just send them out. My fear and worry is that most of the time that if you are not when people are not initiated, what happens is that spirits cannot really act on them as when they are initiated. So I am trying to find and figure out what I should send with the spiritual oil and all these things, so that person will do a first cleansing before starting to use this, because I know the effect of this oil, but someone who probably is having such a lot of aura, a negative aura around them, and it has piled up. It needs to be cleansed down, so that after the cleansing, when they use the oil, it becomes very effective. So this is where I am kind of locked up now, thinking of what to do, what to prepare to send together for people to first do before using the herb. And most of you are not here in Ghana, you are far away, and how to get those things to you and the oil to you is my worry now. But I pray that some answers will come, and then once the spirits give me the go ahead that okay, without the cleansing, they can still work. I don't have anything. Whether the soap alone is enough to do the cleansing, and incense will cleanse the spiritual aura and all these things. Then I'll say, but then I am doing consultation. I haven't forgotten you people, and the oils are ready. I have 22 bottles here now, and we hope and pray that very soon it will come onto the Revolution platform, the cost price, and then we will start to market it too. Thank you very much, everybody, for today. I thank all of you. Those of you whose questions have not been answered, we will go online and answer them for you. Or you can repeat the same questions in our next section, and then I will gladly listen. So we will, the ones that we are not able to answer now, we will let Said make sure that those will be answered from the first sections on next Sunday. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best. Bye-bye from African Magic Temple. Yeah, this is our moderator, the Said Nyabo. And then we have Bokor Bullet is there. Yeah, and then Sena Israelba is there, and all of you, thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you again in the next section. Bye bye for now, and I wish you all a successful week coming from tomorrow. Bye bye.